Master of Ceremonies, Messrs. the candidates, ladies and gentlemen. It is just 1 year and 3 days ago tonight that the County of Huntingdon elected me in a by-election to represent it in the Quebec legislature, and in 2 more days it is going to get the opportunity to do the same thing, but in conjunction with that I will have with my side Archer Laberge de Chadiguet et Edgar Hébert de Barnwat. Last year I said to the people of the County of Huntingdon that I was proud to stand for election as a candidate of the Union Nationale because I believed that I could work with a government composed of such men as Maurice Duplessis, Jean-Paul Sauvé, Paul Beaulieu, Antonio Talbot, and the other members of that cabinet. 1 year of experience at Quebec has proved to me that the words which I said at that time have been amply justified, because I have found nothing but the greatest of courtesy from the Prime Minister, every member of his department, that is to say every member of his cabinet, my fellow members in the legislature, and all the departments of the civil service. As a representative of the English-speaking minority, I want to say not only to the people of the County of Huntingdon, but to my English-speaking confrères of Chadiguet and Beauharnois, that we are getting from the province of Quebec the fair and just treatment that minorities have been led to expect in this province since Confederation. And I want to say further than that I am convinced that as long as we have a Duplessis government in power, that we will continue to get such treatment. I'm going to be very brief tonight in my remarks because it is getting late. But there are certain points that I want to touch upon before I sit down. First of all, the Duplessis government is the first government to take a firm stand on educational matters in the province of Quebec and to lift from the burden from overtaxed school boards, that burden of debt which during a 50-year period had accumulated to the point where it was no longer bearable. For that, and that alone, we owe a vote of thanks and our support to the Honourable Mr. Duplessis and to his government. It was the Duplessis government that instituted minimum salaries for teachers. 1936, that minimum was set at $300. It was the Duplessis government that raised it to its present minimum today of $600. Not much, you say, and I agree with you, but it at least indicates the good faith of the government, and before many months have passed, it will be higher than that, because after the 28th of July next, it will be the same government that will be in power. While we're speaking on the subject of education, I would like to point out, as has been said from this platform tonight on 2 occasions, that it was the Duplessis government which is responsible for creating in this province the first Ministry of Youth. A Ministry of Youth which has under its control the construction and the maintenance of specialized schools where your children, your sons and your daughters may be taught not a profession, but a trade, so that they can go into the world equipped to earn an honest living. That situation came about because it was realized at the beginning of the last war that there was a great scarcity of technicians in this province. In the last 4 years, the Duplessis government has spent $9 million in the construction of such specialized schools. I could talk at length about other social legislation, but I merely want to mention in passing old age pensions, needy mothers' allowances, and blind pensions. For all 3 of those social acts, it is the Duplessis government which you have to thank. You will remember doubtlessly that in 1927, the federal government at Ottawa made the system of old age pensions possible in the province of Quebec, as well as the other provinces of the Dominion of Canada. That system was adopted in the other provinces, but it was this same Mr. Godbout who wants to be your Prime Minister again, and the members of his government who were opposed to instituting such a system in the province of Quebec because they said that it wasn't needed here. And it was the Duplessis government that put that legislation into effect. It was the Duplessis government that sent out the first old age pension checks, and it was the Duplessis government that's still sending them out and will be sending them out after the 28th of July next. The Prime Minister himself, speaking in English, touched on the question of health and what has been accomplished in the field of public health. Nothing short of the miraculous inside the 4 years that this government has been in power. A department confided to the Honourable Dr. Albany Paquette, a department that has been extremely well administered, and a department which will do a great deal more for this province under the next Duplessis regime. Those of you who are farmers will appreciate without doubt the agricultural program that has been in effect in this province within the last 4 years. A system of farm loans that started in 1936 and has been continued ever since. Large grants for drainage in every one of the counties that are represented here tonight, and grants for bulldozer work for the improvement of your farms. That's the record, ladies and gentlemen, on which we appeal to you again for re-election. That record, that and nothing else. We have no time to throw mud at our opponents. We have no time to make a program of 98 provinces. We trust in the action that you've seen in the past, the action that you will see in the future to re-elect us. And I say to you in all sincerity that you of the counties of Beauharnois, of Chateauguay, and of Huntington should send to Quebec on the 28th, not one member, but 3 members, because a solid block of 3 members from the district of Beauharnois will prove something to the Duplessis government. It will prove that we are of one mind. And when we speak, we will speak as a bloc, and you will find it reflected in the grants that will be paid into the district of Beauharnois. The day after tomorrow, the choice will be yours. I have no doubt of the outcome. We leave it in your hands, confident that on the evening of the 28th, this county, these counties of Beauharnois, of Chateauguay, and of Huntington will have elected a solid bloc, Laberge, Hebert, and RENNIE to represent them in the future government at Quebec.